Hello and welcome to UTECHPIA. On this episode, I'm going to talk to you guys about my favorite 3 techs that I gotta have. The first one is this Tesla wall charger that accompanies my Tesla Model Y. An amazing vehicle. The other thing that I really love is my cell phone and my Apple Watch. An Apple iPhone and Apple Watch, and the Tesla makes me complete when I go outside. If I leave the home, I gotta have these 3 things. With the Tesla Model Y, I can put my phone right here and it's automatically charging my phone. This is the wireless charging pad right there. It's charging and I got my screen, my navigation, everything is good to go. Super easy to operate a Tesla. It's very simple. You don't even need to start your car. You come in and you push on the brake and you hit drive and you're in drive mode. That's it. Let's go for a ride. So why should you get a Tesla? A few years ago, Teslas were very expensive, especially when they only had the Model S and the Model X. That was like 4 or 5 years ago. That was expensive. Then they came out with the Model 3 and the Model Y. This we're in today is a Model Y, and it's relatively affordable. In fact, the more affordable one is the Model 3, but I would recommend the Model Y if you have a family and you'd like to have storage space. The Model Y has all the modern conveniences of a modern car plus more. A lot of people say the build quality in a Tesla isn't good. Well, that's very overblown in proportion. The Tesla Model Y is actually one of the most well-built cars I've ever had. And I've had nice cars, like a sports car, Acura NSX. When people compare Tesla's build quality, they usually compare it to like a $100,000 car. Why? Because Tesla used to be a $100,000 car when they only had like the Model S or the Model X. But now, you can get a Tesla for around $25,000, give or take a few thousand, based on tax incentives and state incentives. So really, really good deals. And especially right now, Tesla is currently clearing out the Model 3 inventory because the new Model 3 has arrived. And the Model Y, they're gonna have a new update in about 1 year. So current Model Ys are starting to drop down in prices too. So you can get really good prices on a Tesla Model 3 or a Tesla Model Y right now. And that is just the most important reason, because even given the fact that you don't know anything about a Tesla, it is cheaper to own a Tesla than a Toyota Corolla or a Honda Accord. And now, let's talk about why a Tesla is so great. Because having a Tesla is like having the latest technology and the best appliance you can have on the road. I say appliance because a Tesla has all the features of high tech. You have the instant acceleration. Watch, I push the pedal right there and this thing flies. It's very, very fast. It's amazing performance. And that's because it uses an electric motor and allows it to push very fast without having to spin up. You know, when you start a car, you have to go vroom, right? As you spin up the RPM, it starts to deliver more power. But with the Tesla, you have the instantaneous torque right when you start the vehicle. That's what makes Tesla very fast, and it's very just futuristic, because this car, this Tesla Model Y, is faster than even a $100,000 sports car. It's incredible. So the technology in terms of the electric drivetrain is very fast, and it's very simple. The electric drivetrain doesn't have a lot of moving parts. It has battery and motor and maybe some heating elements and cooling elements to keep the battery temperature in check. But that's it. You have less parts than a typical gasoline car. Much less parts. And that means there's less that will go wrong with your Tesla, and also there's no smog check to worry about your Tesla. So having a Tesla is simpler. Now there's one thing that we don't really know yet, and that's like what happens when a Tesla you've owned for about 15 years, 20 years. Is the battery going to be so bad that you need to replace it? Maybe. But at that level, that's the equivalent of a gasoline car getting its engine replaced. So a battery replacement is a major replacement, and we don't even think that battery replacement is necessary. So in comparison to gasoline cars, electric cars, in my opinion, are the future of technology. And you saw already the acceleration is amazing, the maintenance is very low. And then let's talk about the tech and convenience. If you notice, when I got in my car, I just put my phone on this recharging wireless charging pad. Actually, I could have put the phone in my pocket too, because my phone is my key. It uses Bluetooth. So as I get close to the car, it automatically unlocks itself. And that's something that is obviously a necessary thing, but we've never had that technology before. It wasn't possible, and it's just so natural, right? So you get close to your car, it unlocks. You drive the car, and when you leave the car, assuming you put the phone in your pocket and you exit the car, then the car would automatically lock itself. Genius, right? Things like that is so obvious, and it's finally available. And that's the great thing about having a Tesla, is being able to take advantage of technology like that. When the light turns green, you automatically get a notification, a little ding to let you know that it's green. So little details like that makes it easier to drive. Also, the Tesla has autopilot. Now, there's 3 levels of autopilot. The one that's included with all Tesla for free is called a basic autopilot, and it works really well. The free autopilot is super easy. Just push down twice right here, and the car will steer for you and also keep you in your lane. And this one is included free on all Tesla. Now there's 2 other versions of autopilot. One that has assistant for lane changing. That's called the enhanced autopilot. I wouldn't recommend that because it costs more, but I really don't use it. Now there is a full self-driving, full autopilot, the FSD, the full self-driving. That one is really good, but only if you take advantage of it. So basically that one costs about $199 a month, or you can go ahead and pay one time for $12,000. But the thing about paying for one time for $12,000 is that full self-driving stays in the vehicle. It's part of your car, and if you sell your car, you lose it and it goes to the other buyer. Now, the thing about it going to the other buyer is that the value isn't there when you sell it, because you can't just say, oh, it comes with full self-driving, which is worth $12,000. So my used Tesla now is $12,000 more than other used Teslas that don't have full self-driving. It doesn't work that way. So I don't think it's worth it if you add it to your car, but for $199 a month, you can rent autopilot and use it on your road trip, and it's really nice. So full self-driving autopilot basically gets you from destination A to B, and it handles the freeway really well. It changes the lane for you, it exits the freeway for you, it stops and slows down when there's traffic, it turns and does everything. It does an amazing job. And by the way, we're parking right now. So with the Tesla Model Y, you have parking sensors right there, you have lines, you have a backup camera, you have indicators right here to let you know as you pull back to park. It's very easy to drive. And the Tesla Model Y, with all this technology, I feel safer driving this vehicle and being able to pull out parking lots a lot easier than having a normal car that doesn't have all these features. And when you're done driving, all you do is you put this thing into park, which is already there, and then that's it. You just leave the car. Make sure you bring your phone with you. And this is part of the joy of having a Tesla. This is technology, and this is the future. So I'm gonna go ahead and exit the car, and this car will turn off, and we're good to go. There we go. With the Apple Watch, I can do Apple Pay, and it's super convenient. So can I get a large Vietnamese hot coffee, please? Also known as cà phê sữa nóng. Right here, Apple Pay, put it right there, and you're good to go. That's what makes it super easy. I got my cà phê sữa nóng right here, enjoying my coffee, and if I pull out my cell phone, so having a cell phone is a must, right? Everyone's gotta have a cell phone, whether you're an Android user or an Apple iPhone. I like to use the iPhone because the iPhone has a really good camera and it allows me to document everything. This one has zoom, it has close up, it has wide angle, and I have a push of a button right here, and I can start recording right away. So I can document events, I can use it to take pictures and do everything with the phone. Plus it acts as my recorder, so I can take notes, I can record audio, I can obviously check the internet, check my email, do everything. And with the iPhone, it's just a seamless experience with my laptop at home because I have a MacBook and I'm in the Apple ecosystem, especially with the Apple Watch. So everything makes it just easier. So again, wrapping things up, my life really is dependent on tech. I have a lot of tech, but when I leave the house, it's always about the phone, the Apple Watch, and my Tesla. And speaking of my Tesla, if I open up my phone right now, I can see my Tesla is charged. I have my percentage on my battery. I know that it's locked. I can do the climate control right now. I can turn on and off the climate control because if I want it to be nice and cool when I get in the car, I can do that. I can pop the front. I can look at the climate right here, how it looks like inside. I can turn on and off the heated seats. I can even turn on and off the heated steering wheel. I can turn on the seat warmers, whatever I want. Like I can heat up my seat, I can heat up the back seat. I can change the climate on the entire car. I can vent the window. I can defrost the car. I can do lots of stuff, right? And this is the nice technology with the Tesla. I can even look at my cameras. I can look at live cameras right now, and I can see what's going on with the car currently where it's parked. I see the front camera, I see the back camera, I see the side camera. I can go to the pillar camera right here and see what's on that side. I can see what's going on this side over here, on this side. I can see what's inside my car right here, my interior of the car. I have some stuff in the back seat. It's really cool. I honk the car, I can flash it, I can even play a fart sound, or do an audio and speak to my car. So if there's someone there, I can just push this and say, oh, I see you're near my car. What's going on? Do you need anything? Can I help you, right? And it will actually play that right in my car. And somebody that's walking by might be wondering what's going on, right? So that's kind of a cool thing. And there's just so much technology with the Tesla. It's really cool. You can upgrade the apps. You can upgrade the firmware. You can also request service from the phone. And this is like the future technology. You have all your information about your Tesla right in your phone. You can lock and unlock from your phone. Even with the watch, you can use it with the Tesla app. You can unlock your car with the app. You can do so much. And again, with Apple Pay, I'm able to pay for things with my phone, or as you saw earlier, with my watch. It's just a full integration of technology in my life. So that's why I like these gadgets. So let's go back to the car and drive back home. So as we walk back to the car, one thing that's nice about Tesla is that because there's no engine in the front, you have storage space in the front. So if I push this button right here, it unlocks the car. And this is the front of the car. So if I pull up here, you can see I have storage here, and I can put groceries or other things, and it's nice extra storage. So really nice to be able to have the app. And by the way, you saw earlier right here, if I wanted to, I can flash a light by pushing this button, and you can see the light flash. Right there, see those lights flash? It's kind of hard to see, but at night it flashes, and you can honk the horn like that. Very cool, right? So the car unlocks by itself because it knows I'm here and I have my phone, and it also picks my profile. You see right here, UTECHPIA, that's my profile. And if my wife is driving, I can tap this and it goes to her profile. You notice when I go to her profile, the seat goes up, the steering wheel goes down, the mirrors all change because that's her profile. Now watch this. I'm gonna go to work in profile. When I click this, watch everything here. So I'm gonna click this, and you see it changes the steering wheel up, it changes the mirror, and it moves the seat back, and it's gonna rest it out. And this is for my working position. And if I want to rest, I have a profile right here. If I want to rest, I can click this and it's rest in car. Look at the seats now. I'm gonna go back down and I'm gonna rest in my car. I can take a small nap. It's a really nice, convenient place to just do your work and rest if you need to. So these are the different profiles, right? So going back, if Kim was driving, I can go here, or if I'm driving, I can go over to my profile, UTECHPIA right there, and then it will change back to my profile. So everything adjusts. The only thing that doesn't adjust is this mirror, because this one is still manual, but this is technology, guys. If I access my favorite music or my radio and all of that settings, it's stored with the profile. So when my wife drives, it goes back to her favorite music station. So we don't need to change our settings and disrupt each other. All the settings are like that, which is really cool because it's connected to the driver's profile. So when you get in a car, it should automatically pick your profile and adjust everything for you. Then you just step on the brake. Stepping on the brake is essentially like starting up your car, because right now the car is technically on, but stepping on the brake, you'll notice right here when I put the brakes on, you'll see right here, you got your indicators and everything starts up. Then I'm gonna go shift into drive right here, and that's it. Now I can just drive off like any normal car and step on the accelerator pedal. It's not called the gas pedal anymore, it's called the accelerator. And my signal is over here, signal, and I can see the cars coming up because this is nice technology, right? So right here, I can see it's clear, and I can just go ahead and drive. And that's as easy as can be, right? This is why it's so nice to have a Tesla. You have your navigation, your map here. If you want to do the autopilot, double tap right there, and then it's pretty much going to drive itself. Right now it's controlling the speed. I can let off the gas pedal or the accelerator, and it can stay in its lane, and when it comes to a stop, it will slow down and stop if you have the enhanced autopilot. But since we have the free basic autopilot, it won't stop for us. It will stop if there's a car there, but if there's no car, it will go right through. So that's kind of you have to use the free autopilot as more of a cruise control and auto steer. And the enhanced autopilot is more for exactly the feature that we just mentioned. Right now, you see how it stops for me? Everything's automatic. I don't even need to push on the brakes. So it's very smooth, right? And if I wanted to turn off this autopilot anytime I want, I can just go ahead and disable it like this, and it's off. And oh, there we go. I was in reverse for a second. But anyway, very, very simple to use. It takes a little while to get used to. So if you have parents or grandparents and they want to buy a new car, I do recommend a Tesla, but you need to spend some time with them. They need to understand how to charge. They need to understand how to shift into gear, but it's not that bad. It's quite easy, and I think most parents, most grandparents would be able to adapt in a couple of days. And then they'll be in the future. Let them enjoy the future of EVs because this is the future. It's really nice and really smooth. And some people might say Teslas are a bumpy ride, and I would say yeah, and especially since we have the Model Y Performance, which has even a more stiff suspension. It's a little bit of a bumpier ride, but it's not much different than having cars in the price range of about $25,000, $30,000, $35,000. Sometimes when people talk bad about Teslas, they usually compare Teslas to a $100,000 car, like a Mercedes or a high-end BMW. Why? Because Tesla used to cost $100,000, but now you can get one for like $20,000, maybe even a little bit less with the tax incentives and state incentive. So very smooth. Anyway, we're gonna go take a few turns and we're gonna drive home. And yeah, this is the Tesla Model Y. I got my Apple Watch on me. My phone is in my pocket this time and it still recognizes me and unlocks. So this is my integration of all the tech. So I'm gonna go home and charge the car and I'll show you how that works in one moment. So now we are home, and driving a Tesla is very similar to other cars, except now you have all these indicator, right? So I know to go forward a little bit. I have space, I can move forward a little bit. And you see right now I'm in drive mode. If I push this stalk up, and now I'm in reverse mode, the backup camera shows. And when I turn my steering wheel, you see how it has these lines? It tells me where I'm turning. So it makes it very easy to back up and get into my parking spot right here. So I can probably take it in one shot, or I can go up one more time if I like to. So push down here, you see this is reverse. If I push down here, now we're back into drive. I can go ahead and drive forward, and then I can go back to reverse again. Now the newer Teslas, they won't have the stalk anymore. You have a control on the screen to push up to drive forward, push back to drive reverse. This one is still the older technology here because Tesla keeps changing, but push up right here to go in reverse, and we can see a backup camera again. So I can go ahead and back up the car. It's very easy to see around you, and this is the stuff that older cars don't have such a big backup camera view. It just makes it such a nice joy to be able to drive because of all these modern conveniences. And you can see our wall charger there. That's how we're going to charge it, and every night we charge it, and that way we can wake up to a full tank of EV gas, right? Because this thing will be full in the morning. And you see right here, we're pulling in, and I can see how far back I want to go, and everything has cameras for me, and that's pretty good. I can back up just a little bit more, and just like that, I push this to go into park mode, and voila, we are parked, and we can close our garage like so, and I can just exit the vehicle. As long as I have my phone in my pocket, it will lock itself, and that's it. And now we're home. So I said you can charge this at night, but you can charge it anytime you want. In California, our electric bill is higher during the day and cheaper at night. That's why we program it to charge at night, even if we plug it in during the day. Now I can decide when I want this thing to charge, and I can see on the app right here, if I open up my Tesla app, I go back here, and I can see that it has a charging limit set, and it will start to charge at 9:15 p.m. And if I want to, I can start charging right here if I want to. We're at 78%. I usually charge to around 80%. And this is one thing to know about Tesla, is that although this is one thing to know about any EV, is that they have a rated range on their website when you buy the car, right? Like for example, this car was rated at 305 mile range on a single charge. And that number, you have to take it conservatively because that number is almost unobtainable. That 305 miles is if you drive on a perfect condition at a normal slow speed. And you have to charge your battery to 100%, which normally you don't want to do because with the technology in the batteries of our cars today, ideally you want to charge up to about 80% and discharge down to about 20%. You don't want to go lower than 20, you don't want to go more than 80. So keep that in mind because if you go from 20 to 80 in that range, now you limited your real true range of driving. So maybe 305-mile range is now going to be like 220 or 230, right? So keep that in mind. Right now it's set to a 80% charging limit, but if I wanted to go on a road trip, then I can set this to 100%. And then I'll be ready to start my first leg of the travel at 100%. One thing about charging to 100% is also the charge speed. It charges very fast when you're at 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%. But once you are past 80%, the charging speed slows down dramatically. So to charge from 80 to 100% takes a lot longer than probably going from 20 to 80%. That's kind of exaggerated, but still, my point is that its optimal charging speed is from 20 to 80%. So this is like a quick overview of why I love driving a Tesla. There's more little details about it, but all in all, the experience is really good. So if I wanted to, I can go ahead and click right here to start charging, and you can see this light right here. If I hit start charging, it will turn green and it will start charging the Tesla. And that's pretty much it. And by the way, if you guys are interested in the Tesla Model Y or any Tesla, I have my referral code. It's UTECHPIA.com/Tesla. And I'll put it on the screen right now. This code will give you some extra discounts and incentive when you purchase your Tesla, and it helps me too, so I would appreciate that. And yeah, enjoy your Tesla. Let me know if you have any questions. If there's enough interest, we can do a how-to on how to drive a Tesla when you first get it. Like every little details, like how to set up the driver profile, how to set up your car, how to sync your phone, how to sync your watch, and how to do every little detail about the Tesla because it's a lot of fun. Lots of details, and it'll be an interesting video. So we'll talk about that next time. But again, if you're interested in Tesla, UTECHPIA.com/Tesla is a referral code for extra discounts and incentive on your Tesla. And again, why I like the Tesla is because it is the future technology, and I combine it with having a phone so I can access all my phone stuff as well as being connected with my car and my Apple Watch because it's the extension of my phone for my Apple Pay, my messages, my phone calls. I didn't talk about the Apple Watch too much. We can get more into that in the next video if you're interested, but the Apple Watch is really an extra. Like really, I just gotta have my car and my phone. These two really complete what I need to be on the road. But if I can get one more piece of tech, it would be my Apple Watch. Anyway, this is the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. See you guys. Bye.